All right, this tutorial is for the Module 10 review, Part 2. This is going to cover Lesson 10.3 on describing and analyzing cross sections of circular solids. Definitely need paper, definitely need pencil, definitely going to need a calculator while you're doing this. I'm going to draw the pictures out with you while we're doing this. We'll do all the math together. Okay? All right, Clyde has a cone-shaped party hat. The height of the hat is 10 inches and the radius of the base of the hat is 4 inches. What is the area of a vertical cross section through the center of the base of the party hat? Okay, so he's got this party hat. Okay, all right, kind of looks something like this, right? Looks something like that, right? And draws it right through the center. Okay, so it looks like to me he's cut out a triangle. He's cut out a triangle. And I know that my triangle that he's cut out, okay, has a radius of 4 and a height of 10. But if I really take a look at the whole triangle he's cut out, it really has a base of 8. Okay, the whole thing is 8. Okay, so taking a look here, you're going to notice that vertical cross section of a cone is a triangle. So just what we drew here. And we should use the formula 1/2 base times height. Now you could have just multiplied 10 and 4 together and gotten the answer because they gave you the radius. So 10 and 4 is 40, or you could have gone 1/2 base times height. So let's see, 10 times 8, which is 80, and then you divide that by 2, and you get 40, which is your answer. So 40. So make sure you use that hint if you get a little stuck. Okay, check it, and we're good. Okay, that was question number 1. All right, I'm gonna clear this off. Move on to question number 2. All right, a cylindrical swimming pool has a height of 4 feet and a circumference of 75.36 feet. Okay, so I'm gonna draw myself a cylinder, and it's a swimming pool. So think about an above ground swimming pool. All right, it's got a circumference of 75.36 feet, and they want a vertical cross section through the center. So they're going right through the center. Okay, so let's take a look. What do you think that's going to create? Yeah, it creates a rectangle. Okay, but I have to know something about this, right? I have to know exactly what is my circumference, or I'm sorry, I have to know what my diameter is. I'm sorry. So what do I have to do to this? I have to know what this distance is. So I have to take 75.36 and I'm going to divide it by 3.14. Okay, so what's 75.36 divided by 3.14? And it's 24. Okay, so I've got 24. Okay, now I've got 24. All right, and then 24 is my one dimension. And then, of course, my height is 4, so I'm going to go 24. Oops, I put a 2 there. Sorry about that. 24 times 4 is 96. Okay, so I've got my 2 dimensions, 24 and 4, 96. Okay. Okay, find the area of a rectangle, multiply its length and the width. So that was your length, and that was your width. Okay, second, we're good. Moving on to question number 3. All right, clear this out. All right. All right. Alexandra's working on a float for a parade. She's making a sphere out of paper mache. She knows the circumference of a cross section through the center of a sphere. Circumference of a cross section through the center of a sphere. How can Alexandra find the radius of the sphere, drag the answers into the boxes to correctly complete the explanation? Okay, Alexander can divide the circumference of the cross section of the sphere by what? She can divide it by pi. You always divide by pi to find the diameter. Okay, because circumference divided by pi will give you the diameter. Then she can divide the diameter by 2 to find the radius. Okay, all right. There's your formula. We've talked about that multiple times. Okay, and then radius is always half the diameter. So check it. We're good. All right, now let's get into some mathy problems. All right, so they're actually giving me the picture here, which is kind of nice, right? All right, so I want to find the vertical cross section through the center of the base of the cone. So I'm going to go right through the center, right here. What shape is produced? Looks like a triangle, right? Looks like a triangle, just like that, right? Okay, so I've got a height of 32, okay? And then what's this right here? What's that? Okay, well, the whole thing obviously is 12, right? But that particular portion right there is going to be 6, right? Okay, but you take a look at your hints. Remember the vertical cross section, center of the base of a cone is a triangle, okay? And then it's going to tell you to use 1/2 base times height. So again, if I'm going off, I've got to complete this, okay? Which would be 12, and then I would go 32 times 12 divided by 2. Okay, 32 times 12 divided by 2, and you should get 192. Okay, 192 centimeters squared. Okay, so hopefully you're starting to see when you get that cone, you've got that triangle. Check it, we're good. All right, let's clear this out. Moving on to the next one. All right, and you can utilize this when you take the test for a couple of questions. Okay, we got a sphere. All right, and find the area of the cross section through the center of the sphere. So what shape is this? What shape's being produced there? Okay, you got it. It's a circle. Okay, all right, and then again, what do we need? Okay, center of the circle. What do we need to find the area of a circle? That's right. We need the radius. We need pi r squared. Well, if that's 10 through there, what's my radius? And of course, radius is diameter divided by 2. And that's my diameter right there, right? So I really need to take 10 divided by 2, and that gives me 5, right? Okay, so now I'm going to do 3.14, 3.14 times 5 times 5, and that's going to give me my answer. 3.14 times 5 times 5, and there you go. We got 78.5 inches squared. 78.5 inches squared. Check it. We're good. Okay. Cutting through the middle of that sphere, it's going to create a circle. All right, let's clean this off. Now let's move on to the next one. Okay, find the area of a vertical cross section through the centers of base of a cylinder with a height of 27 and a circumference of 47.1. Okay, so let's draw ourselves a cylinder first of all. Okay, all right, so we got a cylinder here. There's my cylinder. And we want to go vertical, so we're going right down the middle of it. And what shape has been created? Okay, if you didn't know, it's a rectangle, right? Okay, rectangle is your base. Okay, so what's my height and what is my width? Well, I know I have a circumference, right? And I have a height. My height's 27, but I've got a circumference, and I've got to do something about that to get the width. Okay, and whenever you see that circumference, you got to find the diameter to get the width. So I need to take that 47.1 here and divide by, yep, 3.14. Okay. All right, 47.1 divided by 3.14, and that, oops, I'm about 47.1 divided by 3.14, and that gives me 15. All right, so now I've got my two dimensions, 15 and 27. Okay, 15 is the bottom or the top. 15, 15 is my rectangle. Lovely rectangle. 15 is here, 27 here, 15 and 27. And of course, 15 times 27 is 405. Yeah. 405. All right. Of course, you can always use hints. A of length times width. Okay. Check it. Good. I'm going to clear this off. All right, moving on to the next one. All right, now horizontal cross section. Okay, so let's pull up that same type of cylinder here. Okay, same type of cylinder. Now, instead of going vertically, now we're going horizontally. So vertically, create a rectangle. But if I go horizontally, I cut it this way, what's it going to produce? It's going to produce a circle. So my height of my is 11 meters and my circumference is 81.64. Okay. So I need to find something here, right? Okay. I've got to do something with that 81.64. What do you think it is? Yeah, I've got to divide it by 3.14. So 81.64 divided by 3.14. What's that going to give me? 4 divided by 3.14. Whoops, I did it again. 81.64 divided by 3.14. That gives me 26. Now, what does 26 represent? 26 represents my diameter, okay? And do I want diameter when I'm finding area of a circle? No, I want radius. Okay, so if 26 is my diameter, what's my radius? Well, diameter divided by 2 is my radius, so my radius is 13. And now 13, I have to find, doesn't really matter the height, right? Because I want to find the area of the circle. So I need to go, and of course you can look at the hints here. I messed my drawing up a little bit. Okay. Pi r squared. Okay. I'll X out my hints here. So it puts, well, I didn't even put my drawing. I did put my drawing back together. Okay. Area is pi r squared. So we need to go 3.14 times 13 times 13. And what will that give me? 3.14 times 13 times 13. And it gives me 530.66. Okay. Let's clear this off. And moving on to question number 8. All right, question number 8. All right. Okay, two chefs work on cylindrical cakes. David wants to make a stripe of frosting in his cake, and he wants to cut. It shows a rectangle. Terry wants to put a layer of frosting in the middle of her cake, so she makes a cut that shows a circle. How was Terry's cut different than David's? Okay, so how'd Terry cut it? She wanted to put a layer of frosting in the middle of her cake. So if she put in the middle of her cake, wouldn't that be cutting it horizontally or left to right? If David, because a rectangle, when you cut a circle like a rectangle, think about cutting a can. If you looked at the face of the can, it would look like a rectangle that would be going vertical. Okay. Of course, you can use the hint buttons. Okay. All right. What shape is produced right there? What shape is that? It's a rectangle, right? Looking at the shape in white. Okay. All right. What shape is produced there? Okay. Don't get caught up in this oval here. Even though it looks like it, what's the base? If I was looking right straight down on it, that's a circle. It's not an oval. Don't get caught up in that oval, okay? And obviously not a triangle or a square. That's kind of put there to trick you. Okay. All right. Okay, going back to some previous sections. These are good questions, though. Straight path, circular garden, the center of the garden. Center going from the edge to the center is your radius. So that tells me r is 7. So do pi r squared, right? See? Radius, pi r squared. Use these hint buttons. They're there for you for a reason. Okay? So 3.14 times 7 times 7. That's going to give me my answer. 3.14 times 7 times 7. 153.86. All right, and the last question. Let me clear that off. All right. All right, angles are 48, 64, 68. So can I make none, one, or infinite? Okay, so remember, what do I have to have in order to have a triangle? They have to add up to 180 degrees. And if I have three angles that add up to 180 degrees, I can make infinite amount of triangles. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. There, of course, there's your sun. And similar triangles have the same corresponding angle measurements. Okay. So let's take a look. 48 plus 60, 64 plus 68. Got 180. So guess what? Infinite. Okay. Hopefully this review was helpful. Thanks for watching.